Now we're ready to really complete the animation by adding sounds. The big task will be finding or recording the sounds we want to put in, but first let's prep the file to keep our sounds organized. I like to make a folder at the very bottom and just add a bunch of empty layers. I'll label this one SFX and then use the click and drag trick to rename the other layers. We're going to have a bunch of overlapping sounds, so we need a lot of layers. So now let's go through and figure out what the sounds are that we're going to want. First off, when the cursor selects the brush, we're going to want a click sound. I'm going to record a custom click sound using Audacity, a free sound recording and editing program. I'll just make sure it's set to record from my microphone. Then I'll point my mic at my mouse, hit record, and make a bunch of different clicks. Okay, now we want to edit this a little bit. The first thing we can do is amplify it by going to Effects, Amplify. And it defaults to amplifying as much as it can without the sound clipping. But we don't want it to amplify that much, so let's bring this down to, say, 8. Now I'll just listen to the clicks and I'll pick the one I like best. I like this one, so I'll delete the rest from the timeline. And this was a quieter one, so I'll amplify again. Let's just use 8 again. And now you can see there's some noise in the quiet part of the track. We can clean that up. Just select a section of the noise, go to Effect Noise Reduction, and click Get Noise Profile. Now it knows what sound counts as noise. Now select the whole timeline, go back to Noise Reduction, and hit OK to clean. And now we've got a nice clean version of just the click sound effect. So the click has two parts, the button going down and coming back up. So for maximum control, I want those as separate files. So I'll select the first part and go to Export, Export Selected Audio. Find the right folder where I want to keep my sounds for the project, and save it as a WAV file called mouse click. Then select the other part of the sound and export it as a WAV called mouse release. So now we have those two WAV files, and we can just add them to our project library by dragging them into it. And there they are. If we sort the library by type, all the sounds will be at the top. So let's find the frame where the cursor clicks. And then I like to put the sound one frame later. It's more realistic for the visual action to slightly precede the sound that it caused by just a bit. Then I'll click and drag the sound to the stage, and it will add it on whatever frame you have selected. And this is a quick click, so I'll put the mouse release just a few frames later. Then next, for when he starts drawing, this is where it's good to have the click and release separate. When he starts drawing, we'll put in the click sound. And when he releases at the end of the stroke, we'll put in the release sound. I'll do that for each stroke of drawing the stick figure. And actually, when we have the sound repeating like this, there's a little trick to make it faster. I'll make sure the two different sounds are on different layers. And now if you want the sound on the layer that played previously to repeat, just click and drag, and that will make a new keyframe where the sound starts over. So let's see how that sounds so far. And then to switch from the brush to the selection tool, the animator would have used a keyboard shortcut, so we need to record a key press sound. I'll do this just like I did for the mouse click. In Audacity, I'll use my mic to record a few key presses. Pick the one I like best. Amplify. And do noise reduction. Make sure the sound starts right away. Export as a wave and call it key press. Then I will drag that file directly to stage, and since the frame is selected, it will start right there. Then for the click and drag, we repeat the click and release sounds. Now for typing the symbol name, you could record yourself typing, but I already have a typing sound recorded. And this is my library of sounds that I've accumulated from doing these animations over the years. It's good to make a library like this of all the sounds you record so you can reuse them in later projects. I'm going to search for typing and find one of the sounds here that fits. 3 seems like the right length. I'll add that in. And oops, I need to make sure the cursor is above the dialog box. And then I'll add in the click on the OK button. Then we need a thud and a glass breaking sound here. I've got a few glass breaks in my library. This one should fit, so I'll add that in. And just before that, I'll find a thud to add in. Then we need mouse clicks for drawing the hammer. And I need the key presses for switching tools. And before I get too deep into this, I want to organize these layers to keep the sounds the animator makes with the mouse and keyboard separate from the sounds the stick figure is making. So I'll use an empty layer as a buffer between them and just make sure all the animator sounds are above it and the stick figure sounds are below it. So there isn't really much more to the process of adding sounds. I'm just going to keep going, adding the clicks in the right places and adding sounds from my library that fit the actions. All the sounds I use will be included in the downloadable files for the course, so you'll have those available too. Here's something worth looking at. For the sound of the rubble here, I have an issue where the sound that I have goes on longer than I need it to. So I'm going to trim the sound here in Animate by going to the Properties panel and clicking this pencil button next to Effect. And I can select just the portion I want to use. I just want the end portion where things are coming to a rest. Now I'll keep going, adding more sounds in. So for the missiles, I don't already have a good sound in my library, so I like to find sound effects at freesound.org. I'll search for missile. Then I just need to go through and check these to see if any of them will work. This rocket launcher sound is good for the initial launch. I might need a different sound for the missile in flight, but let's download this. You have to sign in to download, but accounts are free. I'll download that and open it in Audacity. And I'm going to export each of these 3 launch sounds as separate files. Since our launcher shoots 3 missiles at a time, this will be perfect. Next, we need a sound for the rockets in flight. Let's try a different search term, maybe sparkler. This sound is too weak for the missiles, but it would be good for the fuse on the bombs later, so I'm going to download it. Let's just put the rocket launcher sounds in, and maybe that will give us a better sense of what a good flying sound will be. I'll put in our 3 rocket launcher sounds. And the volume is pretty loud when all 3 of these are playing, so I'll edit the sound again. And this time I'll bring the volume line down to half on the left and right channel. Do that for all 3 sounds. Now that sounds better. Then I still need the sounds of the missile in flight. I tried searching for a missile again and I found this sound. I think the first part of it sounds right, so I'll download that and open it in Audacity and cut out the final explosion and trim the front end. And then I'll make the end segment here fade out by selecting it and going to Generate Fade Out. And also right now it's stereo and the sound moves from one ear to the other, which we don't want, so I'm going to go to Tracks, Mix, and mix stereo down to mono. And let's amplify it a little bit, just by 3. And export that as a wave. And use that in our project. There, that sounds better. Now I'll just repeat the sounds for the next 3 rockets. And to mix up the order of the launch sounds, I'll select the keyframe, and then over in the Properties panel, I can switch it to one of the other variants in this dropdown. This shows all the sounds currently used in the project. Then for the explosions, I already have these empty keyframes from when we timed out the debris animations. So I'll copy that down here and just spread them out to different layers. Then add a couple variations of an explosion sound effect. Okay, let's hear how that sounds. Cool. Now we want all the sound to stop when the X button gets clicked. So we just add an empty keyframe on all the sound layers. And then we just need the mouse click and release for clicking the X button. And now I'm going to go back through and add some sound for the stick figure moving around. I have a bunch of tiny whoosh sounds I made myself by swooshing a ruler in front of the microphone. I'm going to take a bunch of those and add them to the library so I have some options. And here's a tip. In the library, if you hold down Alt and click, you can preview a sound. So I'll put these in whenever he has quick movements. And then for his landings and footsteps, I have a series of small thud sounds that I made with my fingers on a mouse pad. I'll continue adding those in. Now at this point, the whoosh for the hammer and the whoosh for his jump happen at the same time. So what I'm going to do is edit the sound for his jump and lower the volume on the left channel. So if you're listening in stereo, it will be a little bit more spatially separated from the hammer. Then for the drawing, I have a ton of various draw sounds I recorded. We want a circle one. And then for the fuse on the bomb, we can use that sparkler sound from before. I'm just going to make it start a little later when it's at full burn already. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll use those sounds whenever he draws bombs. So those are all the types of sounds I'll be putting in. I'm just going to finish that up. Then the sparkler sound I think is in stereo. It has too much volume or presence for how small it is. I'm going to go to that file and mix it down to mono. Then export and replace the original. Now whenever you edit a sound you're already using in an animate project, you need to find it in your library. Right click and update it. Then I'm also going to make it a little bit quieter. And I'll copy the frame for that sound to the other places the sparkler is used. And one last click for the no button. Great! So the sound is done and we're ready to export. Since we used that VCam for the camera shake, we're going to need to export using a special tool called Swivel. I'll show you how to do that in the next video.